Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Lawyered Up. I am your host Jared Moore, and I am in this little circle up here because we still don't have our new studio set up. So I'm currently broadcasting live to you from a closet somewhere on the reservation. So that's what's going on with this. Today we're going to be going over some little updates of things, not huge developments. But with that being said, I'm going to pop myself out here and we'll move on. First, we're going to start at the Supreme Court's website, the Mvskoke Creek Nation Supreme Court's website, and we are going to go to the current docket. There's been some developments here with the current docket that I like. As you can see, there are a lot of cases listed here. Some of them you can click through, right? Now, I'm not going to go over all of these cases, but if you're interested, you can go to their website and read these. These other cases that we haven't been following are basically procedural type filings where it's somebody, either the AG's office or defendant, is saying that the district court didn't follow a certain procedure or something. So pretty, kind of like technical rulings that the Supreme Court would be issuing. And their oral arguments haven't been scheduled in any of these. But what we're going to be talking about today is our Citizenship Board of the Mvskoke Creek Nation versus Rhonda K. Grayson et al. You guys will remember from our prior episodes where we talked about NCA, I think it was 24-077 declared unconstitutional. That opened the way for this case to start back up. So there's been two postings since then. The first one is this one down here, the notice of stay of proceedings and order resetting oral argument. So this basically is the Supreme Court saying we're resetting the oral argument because the NCA 24-077 case is over, and we're going to have oral arguments on Friday, June 20th, and they will be conducted via Zoom conference, and they also say no other groups or individuals shall be in the room, and nobody can record it or anything. Let me scroll down here. Sorry. Where are we at? All audio or video recording, this thing. Photographs and or reproductions of virtual meeting and oral argument are strictly prohibited. So they're not even going to put it on their Facebook this time. And then down here you see that absent extraordinary cause shown, the court will decline to consider any requests of continuance of the virtual meeting or oral argument in this matter until filed after 5 p.m. CST on Friday, May 9th, 2025. So then, and this coverage is going to be in the paper, so you'll see it, but after that, there was another order filed that was moving the day oral arguments are to be held from the 20th to, let's see here, June 10th. You can see here Tuesday, June 10th. Basically, there was some scheduling conflicts, so the oral arguments got moved back to Tuesday, or got moved up to Tuesday, June 10th. It's kind of pointless for all of us because we won't get to see or hear anything from the oral arguments, so we won't really know what's going on until the Supreme Court issues whatever decision it's going to issue in this case. So that's basically the update on the Creek Nation Supreme Court. The next thing I wanted to talk about is we have some, and by the way, guys, there's links to all of these stories in the description of this video if you want to go read them, and I recommend that you do. So the Mvskoke Creek Nation passed legislation recently to join an MDL, I think it's 4037, that a whole bunch of school systems and states and individuals are suing all of the social media companies, YouTube, Meta, Google, everybody, for their damages to the mental health of youth, right? And Nelson Harjo Sr. was the sponsor of this, so check out our story on it. There's this link here, lawsuit here, that I'm highlighting. If you click that, it will take you to this page, which is the descriptor page for the MDL, where it lists all of the plaintiffs or defendants, I'm sorry, such as Meta, Instagram, Snap, TikTok, ByteDance, YouTube, Google, Alphabet, etc. So, and basically it's, let's see here, it says plaintiffs have alleged that defendants' social media platforms are defective because they are designed to maximize screen time, which can encourage addictive behavior in adolescents. As alleged, this conduct results in various emotional and physical harms, including death. So the idea is the tribe is going to join this MDL, and then if there's some type of settlement or something down the road, they will get a piece of that. I looked the case up in Pacer. This case is nowhere near a decision, as you can see here. This is the schedule of stuff that's going to be coming up. June 13th, 2025 at 9 a.m. is further case management. There is going to be a hearing to determine the procedure for determining the composition of the jury and the jury trial in this case, and that's going to happen I think it's in December of 2025, so we're still far out from getting a decision in this particular case. Okay, but I do encourage you guys to check out our coverage on that. And then one more thing, this is a case that we had covered on the show, and there's some great reporting here from KOSU, Lionel Ramos. Oklahoma lawmakers approved $100,000 for local district attorneys to fight DOJ in state tribal lawsuit. So basically, if you guys remember, the Department of Justice and the Mvskoke Creek Nation have a lawsuit against District Attorneys Matthew Ballard and Carol Iski for their continued prosecution of Native Americans on the reservation. Well, it turns out they are all out of money, and they have to go to this committee. Let me see here. What's the name of the committee? They have to go to a committee to get some more money to continue this lawsuit. Now, I encourage you to read this story because it has all the history and everything, and it's a good story. I'm just going to try to find the specific committee that they had to go before. It is, what is it called? Just one second, guys. I just read it. It was up here. Well, I thought it was up here. Hold on. Anyway, I recommend that you guys check this story out. There's a link to it in the description. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'm going to go down here. If I can find the committee. Here it is. The local DAs came specifically to the State Tribal Relations Committee. The head of that committee is Scott Fettgetter, who is the Okmulgee rep. And he makes some comments in here where he says, in his final statement before adjourning, Fettgetter said he's concerned with how fast the district attorneys have spent the money they already have. And this is what he said. As of today, there have been $175,000 spent since January, he said. I'm told that it's going to cost approximately $500,000. If it goes to the Supreme Court, it costs somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million. We're a couple of months in here, and we've already burned through $175,000. I don't know that these estimates are accurate. It says the committee voted to approve $100,000 with a party line 7-2 vote. Fettgetter said there's still more to know before he feels right committing any more money. So basically, they're using tax money to try to fight this case that they probably shouldn't be fighting because the Department of Justice is telling them not to do this stuff, in addition to the tribes. I see T.Y. Pearl there is asking, what is going on with Strobel? Well, to answer your question, I don't know, but we can go to the Oklahoma Supreme Court. We can go to their page and see what's going on, and as you can see, no Strobel decision. that's up here. So it's been it has been a year and a half since they did oral arguments in Strobel, and we still don't have a decision. So let me come back in here because I think that's everything that I was going to cover. Again, guys, not a huge update today. There are going to be oral arguments in the Freedmen's. It says Abalove is asking, how long will it take for the judges to make a decision after the hearing in June? I'm assuming you're talking about the Freedmen case, and who knows? The Supreme Court at the Creek Nation has a wide range of how long they do decisions. Sometimes it's real fast, and sometimes they've taken 10 years to issue a decision before, as we saw with some of those Slop Loco cases. T.Y. Proles, will Mvskoke media be sitting down with Tulsa Mayor Nichols anytime soon? That's not on the table. We haven't gotten any response from them yet, and which typically means they're not really hype on doing it. I think the game plan there is we would have a better chance of having Mayor Nichols on to any of our programs once there's been some type of settlement or something decided in the Mvskoke Creek Nation versus City of Tulsa case. Once you would see a settlement come out there or an agreement of some kind, then maybe Mayor Nichols. But you would still have that case out there that's the county of Tulsa against the Mvskoke Creek Nation. So who knows how that would affect, they're not going to sit out. They're not going to talk to me. They got a case in court or negotiations, because it could be a problem for what's going on with the Tulsa lawsuit. Also transfer of Council Oak Park. If you are asking about the MCN versus City of Tulsa, that is, to my knowledge, still in negotiations. The county of Tulsa, I think they are having parties jump in and out of that case. Can the Freedmen take it to the federal court if the judges go against them? Well, it would that would depend on what ruling the MCN Supreme Court makes and how that would work. The Supreme Court could issue various different types of rulings. Like, they could tell the Citizenship Board that they have to rehear the applications for citizenship and those type of things, and then that might add some time on there, but we wouldn't know for sure. When are we getting a new episode of Mvskoke Gardening? This next week, we're shooting the third or second part of episode 2. The problem we're having right now is the weather. We're like every time we schedule to shoot the next segment, we get some type of torrential downpour. So that's the holdup on the gardening show. Will the hearing be on Facebook? Abalove is asking. No, they don't mention anything about the it getting broadcast on Facebook. Now, they could secretly do it. I'm going to tune into Facebook on the day of the hearing, but I don't. Last time they mentioned it, that they were going to do it that way. So, and this time they're not doing that. And after the kerfuffle that was the other case, and I'm pretty sure we covered this about DeMario Solomon Simmons posting a copy of it on his YouTube and all of that stuff. If you guys remember that, I think that's they're like, we're not doing that anymore because they don't want to have to deal with all that stuff. The Ron Graham case, to my knowledge, I think I checked it last week, is still on hold until the Freedmen case gets a decision from the MCN Supreme Court. The idea being that case is now the spear point, right? Ron's case against the Department of the Interior, etc., is on the back burner until we get some type of something out of the Supreme Court here. What's going on with the Freedmen case in federal court? Can you provide Avalov a link to the live wire you did about that? Sure, we could do that. I might post that in there. Or Avalov, if you search Ron Graham on our channel, we had Ron come on and talk about his case I think it was a Lawyered Up. You might check Lawyered Up. And then if there is any updates with his case, as soon as something happens with that, I'll let you guys know. But his case does have a stay on it right now. I don't know if it's a stay, but they're waiting. They've applied to wait until after the Grayson case goes through the Creek Nation Supreme Court, and then they're going to continue on. Because just like we were just talking about, if the Grayson case continues on through the federal level, and who knows, could go to the Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court, or whatever, like any decisions about that case that come out of any courts are going to impact Mr. Graham's case, because they're basically the same type of argument. All right. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. And little updates today, but check out all of the coverage that I pointed out to you guys. And as an update on the studio, I was told this week they are putting carpet down, and then this next coming week they will be doing doors. So we are projected to possibly be able to go in and broadcast from there maybe after June 13th. So we will see. So, Mado, guys, and we will see you guys later. Mado Hadum, Chicha, please.